Oh. Oh my God, this is actually happening.
I've had a bit of a technology day today.
Well, we've been having that. Oh, hi everyone. Good night, good night. And I think we are live. Let me just check to make sure we are live. We're a little bit earlier than normal, but I know you'll be really excited that we got you to bed early tonight. So not to worry, not to worry. And yes, we are live. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna just wait for some persons to join us. Somebody's already there. Let me make sure we have a double view of yourself and myself. So yes, there we are. So Linda.
Turn that way. Is that better?
That is perfect. That's perfect. Oh my goodness, we have to do the banter first because I haven't seen you in ages, right?
I know.
Oh, how are you? You look so young and fresh. I tell you, marriage life has been good for you, right?
That's making a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 decision. That was.
How is Kurt, right?
He's good. He's good. Yeah, really good. Yeah.
House.
Yeah, fabulous. Love it.
Great.
Yeah.
So everybody, welcome to the live. This is one we should have had last week. And Linda had a family quick thing that she had to take care of, and it happens, and we couldn't make it, but we vowed we're gonna do this again. And here we are. Now, people don't know this about you and I. We share the same birthday, right?
We do.
So we have a birthday coming up.
I know.
I'm not even excited because I'm getting old. So I don't know about you, but I'm not so
Listen, I'm older than you, so
yeah.
So get excited.
But we share a birthday. And our relationship is really interesting because we moved from client to friends, right?
Yeah.
To sharing the same birthday.
And we only found out that through coaching.
Yeah, we did. We found that out through coaching. And we then understood why we got on so well.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So welcome everybody. I keep calling her Linda Clark. Please tag somebody because she's not Linda Clark anymore. She's Linda Clark Bradbury. And friend, client, work together, have a long-standing relationship, and really love being in Linda's energy. Linda is so many things. I'm gonna let her tell you, but let me tell you a little bit. We've worked on projects together. We have a book called Pain to Purpose, which was renamed The Journey to Purpose, which is one of the projects we work on, but we work on so many other things. But Linda, you are better at introducing yourself, so take it away.
Thank you, Ava, and thank you for inviting me. So, what's going on there?
Are you not here?
Oh, it just went then. I don't know what happened then. I'm back. So it was a few years ago we met on Facebook, similar to something like this, where I was in the audience, if you like, watching lots of Ava's posts, and you were talking about writing a book, and I just finished a personal development course, and one of the things he said is about what do you want to do, and I said write a book. So anyway, so that was that, and then that was in the January, and then about the March, then you appeared, and this crazy woman phoned me up 7 o'clock one morning with all this energy. I was like, wow, who's this woman? You're crazy. And it was like just this burst of energy through the phone. So, and that was it. And then we just started that journey. The great thing about Ava, she gets you to see things before you actually see them for yourself, and elegantly kicks you up your ass to move yourself forward, which is good. But but in all seriousness, so it's been a long time we've not seen each other, but I don't feel it's like that. And then we found out that we actually shared the same birthday, so that freaked us out. So
and she goes to Jamaica for her honeymoon,
and I'm going back in November, which was and that was amazing. It was just I felt really connected after you'd written your book, The Mango Girl. So that was brilliant to go to Jamaica and to think that my lovely friend was there. So so Ava's asked me to come on and just tell me a bit. So I've got my son's nearly 17.
Wow.
So when I met
you, he was.
No, oh my God, he will have been 12 or something like that. Oh yeah, I mean that's like, so seeing your family growing up and you've seen mine. So so it's been and I've only been thinking at Christmas it'd be really good to get back into some of the Facebook lives. So I've had a break from it for quite a while. So it's quite nice. And so it's wonderful that Ava reaches out to you and just pulls you back in, which is, and it's great, isn't it? You just lift each other up, don't you? Which is fab. And I've really missed that. So I've got the headspace for it now, which is fab. So living in between Manchester and Birmingham, Cheshire, and it's fab. And sometimes, like with Ava, and this is really important for everyone to know, it's suppose sometimes when you're in a place where you don't feel like you're moving backward or forward, you're not really doing anything. It's to get someone that you engage with to help you move forward, and sometimes make decisions that you might not want to make either, and perhaps get you to see that. So that was with the book. I was really nervous about sort of getting involved in something, and then when you see it go to print, you think, oh my word, that's crazy. So, and I think the important thing, and I know Ava's asked me to come on and we talk about forgiveness and your health. And I see, and especially now in January, I see so many people that are dieting, things like that. And I can honestly say, I've never dieted. And people say, oh, you're lucky, don't really need to lose weight. It was like, well, because I don't make it about dieting. And it's 10 years this February. I jumped in and I made a decision, and that was a quick decision actually, to jump into a health business. Lots of people have been involved in network marketing. It's like Marmite, you either love it or hate it. And some of the things they didn't like, but it is engaging with people like Ava, because it just brings you out of yourself. And I think for me, I always wanted to look at something different to make sure your health. But I'd really, especially when I had my son, I didn't want to make it just about me. And I see so many people, and it's changed so much because of Instagram and all social media stuff. And you see some great role models, but there's a lot of focus on that individual. And I know they say get the oxygen mask first, which is really important to make that decision. But I really like to do it as a family. And
Linda, can you pause for a second on that? Because I don't want you to rush it, because I remember us talking, and what I loved about what you do, I mean, that's just one aspect of what you do, because you do a number of things, in as well as, kind of like managing your husband's business. But one of the things that I loved about when you talk about health, I remember when you talked about health to me back in the days, you're always inclusive of the children, the whole family. And I think very often, what you find is that persons are just losing weight for themselves or eating healthy because mom's got too fat or dad's got too fat, or there's a heart problem or a diabetic problem. And we're not thinking that down the road that could happen to the child. So let's start them on now. And that is what I love about what you do. In terms of that. And I just had to pause at that, because I remember we're so specific. It's a whole family approach.
Yeah. And just about teenagers can be, it's a strange age. It can be really challenging, especially, my son started working now. He's doing an apprenticeship. So you're thinking, well, what are those choices going to be like? Who they're around and what they're doing? He's got to the freedom to go out and go and buy food-wise, whatever he wants. So, but in my heart, I probably knew that might not be like that, because I suppose because I have included him, he's a great cook, and you don't think they're watching you. But if I then suddenly started to make all my dietary food myself and be obsessed about dieting, that absolutely massively into it. And I don't want them, he's a boy, don't want him to have that insecure body image thing going on. He's just literally come off a call. I've got an online personal trainer who I met in the health business. He's fantastic. He's so strict with him, like, in the way that, Cassian, you just can't be, going off trying to follow your friends. Stick to your path, be consistent, make the right choices.
Because I was just about to employ an online personal trainer, and in my head I was like, how does that actually work? Like, so he's in Canada, and I really wanted to work with him, and I said I was going to do it, and then I thought, in my psychic, I could not fathom, and this is really dumb of me in a way, how is he gonna, because it's meal plan and everything, and I'm thinking, but you're online, how does it work? Does it work?
It's, yeah, it does. And I'll tell you why. So we had a call. So we have a Zoom call like we do now, because he lives in Wales. I do know him. I've known him, so that's good. He's been in the army and done stuff like that, and he's a personal trainer. He does all that, but his thing is nutrition. So what he does, so we set up a Zoom call, which you do just on the phone, like with Cass, and he actually sets some. He's got an app which is brilliant. So he actually sets the programs for you. So he doesn't just set a blanket one. It's actually individual to you. He asks you lots of questions, what you're trying to achieve. But what I love about him, he includes your children, which is just fantastic. So Cass has just had a call with him, with me there, and I'm listening. And then he talks about your nutrition, or what you need to do. Think about what you're putting in your mouth. So he hasn't, I pay £10 a month. It's just crazy. It's nothing. So he sets your program. The key is he can't force me to do things. You've got to do it yourself. So it's an app. You can upload progress pictures and your measurements, and you can upload your meal plans and things, and it gives you such good advice. But as he's changing, like he does more plant-based now, he'll be honest with you and say, look, I've even evolved over the years. So it's just, I think, so I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I've always, I suppose, like Ava, you like all the natural products as well, like what you make yourself. And I don't think I realised how powerful that has been over the years, and how powerful it can be when you're talking about dieting in front of your children. So, and it definitely affects self-esteem as for women, and we hear it all the time. You've got to love yourself first. Look in that mirror. It might seem a bit conceited at first, but you've got to. I think if you're forever criticizing yourself, I think you hold on to the weight more.
I wanna talk about self-confidence and nutrition a bit, because one of the things that I notice about I've always been a voluptuous girl ever since I've had children, and I've never been comfortable with my size. But lately, in the last 2 years, one of the things I really have done more, and I must tell you, like I saw myself in Barbados, my last speaking in Barbados, and I hated that picture. I did a powerful speech, and I was the best speaker. I was a technology conference. It was a great speech. I got standing ovation. People were crying, and I'm an amazing speaker. But I remember, guys, you know me, I'm very honest and vulnerable. But I remember seeing the video, and I think, I even posted on Facebook, like, oh my God. And I overshadowed the video, and I overshadowed how amazing the speech was, because I just didn't like what I saw. Yeah. And I'm gonna keep it real. And I came home, and I remember I was just dating somebody. I'm gonna do a series in here, by the way, in the next couple of weeks, to talk about, and Linda, you don't know this yet, how I nearly married the wrong person because of my past and low self-esteem. We're going to talk about that. Not talking about it tonight. It's a series coming up in the group that I'm going to be doing. And I remember I was dating somebody who I just met. And I remember sharing the video with him. And I became so conscious of my body, my shape. And I made a conscious decision, I'm going to eat healthier, because I just didn't like what I saw in there. Now, I didn't say I was going to lose weight necessarily. I was going to eat healthier.
Yeah.
So I came home
difference.
because what I was eating obviously was going into my gut and making me fat and fluffy and unattractive. I can just keep it real. And I didn't like what I saw. And sometimes it needs that kind of spotlight moment to make you realize what eating is doing to your body. So I came home, and I remember I literally started just blitzing my house. I got rid of red meat. Yeah. I never did dairy, but I'm a cheese addict. So I kind of cut my cheese down. And I then got more serious now, and I do more plant-based. And I really want to cut out chicken because of the hormones and stuff that I've learned that it's in there. And if I'm honest, if I became rich, which I'm hoping that I will become, I'd get a chef, and the chef would be plant-based, because I would love to go totally plant-based. But I want to talk to you. And so now my skin is better because I drink more water.
Yeah.
And I drink much more water and I get more rest. And I'm much more conscious of what goes into my body. But Linda, talk me through, in your opinion, having worked in this field, what can the wrong nutrition do to, I know it makes you doesn't sleep well. Like I knew that when I was eating bread, like I've cut bread out. When I was eating bread, bread made me nauseous, sluggish, horrible feeling, snappy, and just off the chain. Whenever I take coffee, it makes me irritable. So talk me through what food can do to how you relate to people, right?
Yeah, I think it just makes you foggy as well. I think, you know, trying to focus. If you, I always think about when you're eating, like you say, the red meats and things like that, or you know, lots of dairy and things. I think of it more as like a clogger, you know, and you know, you can't, if you imagine like that type of food. Don't get me wrong, because I do like cheese. I will have some red meat and stuff, but it's educating yourself, you know, to try and change those habits. You're not going to change. You've got to be realistic. Well, you can do whatever you want, but I just find they are like cloggers.
Wow.
For your whole
That's
body.
Deep. Wow.
So it's about so if you think about your plant-based and if your body's trying to digest it, it's not difficult, is it? If you've got your, you know, like if you do a vegan chili, you know, compared to a normal chili with mincemeat, it is so tasty, and you know, your body, it's like flushes through your body, but the meats and the dairy, it can't do that. So I think you just hold on to it, and I think once you start changing it, and I think I see a lot of women, they have the, oh, Monday comes and that's it, you know, that's it, but you know, that always doesn't happen, and they're not even got to the afternoon and it changes. And I think it's just not being hard on yourself, and this is where the key comes with your family. Could be, you don't have to be married or anything or have children, but you know, you might be living with someone or anything, but and if you don't, only live on your own, go and get a buddy, go and you know, go and team up with someone on Facebook or something like that. You need, I don't know, either do it with them, get your children involved. In fact, that's what we were just talking about, like, you know, as a mum, you know, you take over and try and plan everything. So what I've now started to do is include my son into it, and I think I wish I'd done that more when I was younger. Well, not me younger, when my son was younger, and get them starting to think that, because once they get to start making their own decisions, as we have done as adults, it's difficult to change them habits unless you surround yourself with the right people. Because if you surround yourself with people that eat a lot and things like that, it's no different than anything else, isn't it?
Do you know what? That is so powerful. I remember one of the observations I have, and I have it here compared to Jamaica, where I'm from, and I have it here compared to being a teacher. And I remember when I was teaching in the classroom, some of the most aggressive children in the classroom were the ones who drank a lot of sodas. And I'm just keeping it real, they were the ones who ate a lot of sweets. And there was this consistent aggression. And there's a proof that certain foods impact aggression, certain additives affect the aggression of certain children. And I can't help but think that it's an education for parents as well, because the lower socioeconomic families tend to be the ones who eat less healthily. There's a correlation between eating unhealthily and low socioeconomic background.
That's true.
And there's a correlation, I'm not saying in entirety, of low self-confidence and low self-esteem in that demographic. So it is true to say, and I was reading a report about that recently, it is true to say that your self-esteem, your self-worth, your self-confidence can be impacted by what you eat.
And also, once you start eating more vegetables and you start flooding your body with it, that in itself, we've got studies to prove it, happy to share anything like that. What that does, it starts to change your taste buds naturally. That's what happens. And that is what's amazing with, I mean, if you go to the farmers, like I got into, and this wasn't that long ago, then all of a sudden I'm going to the supermarket and I'm thinking everything's in plastic, you know. I get excited now when I go to the, well, it's not even a farmer's market, it's in our town where there's a beautiful fruit and veg, and I love it. I used to go for all the nice shiny carrots. Now I think brilliant, they've got all dirt on, they've been pulled out of the ground. They're the tastiest.
Can
And
I tell you this?
it's just brilliant.
Sorry, I used to manage Lidl.
Yes, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
I managed Lidl. And I remember going on a training course and learning, hi Mark, hi Tracy, hi Audrea. I was tired, Audrey. I started earlier. Hi Rose. Rose is on the call.
Oh, hi Rose.
One of your buddies, Rose, on the call. And Audrey as well.
I know.
But I remember being in managing Lidl, and I was in a training session where I heard that all of the, so there's a standard in Europe that all of the vegetables need to be the same size. There's a standard, they need to be shiny. There's a standard that they have to be a particular way. And when they're defaulted, which are the organic looking ones, they're thrown away because consumers naturally want to see natural, perfect vegetables.
Yeah.
That is slowly changing because
it's going back.
I go to I live in Ireland where most things are farmed. And I go to a farm and I get some of my foods and I have the dirt on them. My tomatoes are not the same perfect sizes. When I buy a piece of meat, if I chose to do that from the butchers, I know where it's coming from. The supply chain is not long. It's literally from him to me. And so I understand that. And I think that we need an education around understanding what we're putting in our mouths, because what we're putting in our mouths impact how we react, how we behave, who we are. And I can say for myself, can I just talk honestly? When I lived in London, and I can talk the truth, I was so much more intense because I was under so much stress. It was environmental, it was my own life. So when we're dealing with all those crap around us, because all of us have crap, okay?
And you do, and you surround yourself with that, not on purpose, do you? You don't realize it.
And we're eating the wrong food. It naturally affects how we react. It affects how we are. It affects how we come across. And I can see that difference, right?
And I think also when before I got in the health business and you started, like, I don't have a microwave. I've not had one. My son set it on fire by mistake, heating this hot milk up. And since that day, I've never had a microwave. And my husband, well, it wasn't my husband there, but like Kurt said, we can't survive without the microwave. No, we can. And that must be, I've probably not had one for 10 years now.
You know what? You just helped me because I didn't have one for years, and Audrey's on here. And since I moved into the house, I got one. I'm going to get rid of it because
you don't need it. And
I survived without one. I had my daughter. And now I'm thinking I need to go back to not having a microwave because I actually don't like them.
And also, we were talking about this the other day. We had a debate because my husband said, should we get a microwave? I was like, no, we don't need one. Well, what about when you want to put that in? Put it in the oven, put it on the cooker. And I think it makes you lazy because that's when you start, because that's when your children, because we've not had one, you know, I wouldn't, even if I had a space for it and it was all lovely, I don't, and I see my sister who's carried the same weight for many, many years. For many, many years. And I've noticed one of the habits is microwave food. And I don't have anything. I have frozen veg. Well, in fact, the only thing I have in is frozen peas. I might have some roast potatoes and whatever stuff I might throw in the oven now and again and do stuff like that. I don't really have anything in the freezer like that, apart from any food I've prepped and I freeze. Because I just think it's too lazy to do it, and it's as easy to do it.
Microwave meals, I cook fresh every day.
Yeah,
but I just find that if I you know what, Linda, I'm gonna get rid of my microwave. I'm gonna give it to my CIC because I actually don't like it. I never had one for years, and Audrey, you know this too. I never had one for many years and I literally got one a year ago, and I'm gonna get rid of it because I don't like it, and I'm gonna stop using it because I just don't like having a microwave. And I just think no way. Somebody said something is Audrey said they now sell wonky vegetables in supermarket. Yes, Aldi I think has started selling them. I think Lidl as well. And as people demand more health, because the studies between your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your weight, your health, your mood swings, the chemicals in your brain, as there's a relationship now with food, supermarkets are changing. And they're oh, we want wonky, so let's give them wonky. Let me just go. Audrey hasn't used a microwave in 15 years. Kudos to you, girl. The stomach also has serotonin like in the brain and tiny nerves in the neurons in the gut. So when we also overload on bad food, as it affects how we feel, because we reduce the flow of serotonin. Thank you so much, Mark. And here's the crazy part, Linda. A lot of lazy parents, I wouldn't say lazy, there's some lazy ones, but there's this thing around the thing around convenience, and parents are tired, and the lifestyle, and when you live in the West like this, it is so hard.
Okay, difficult.
The convenience is a challenge. Necessary. What are some of the things that you think that parents can do and families can do? I have a client who is she's a social worker, and one of the things I had to do with her, she's really up there in the social work, but she was struggling to find time, and I hope she's not in my group and I'm not calling her name. And one of the things I had to do with her was sit her down, I'm a food tech teacher, and give her a meal plan and say, involve your family, chop the vegetables, put them in the freezer, have a meal plan. What are some of the things that families can do to A, improve self-confidence, B, I'm going to talk about forgiving yourself for overeating and well, because that's a big one, okay?
Yeah.
And why people overeat. So what are some of the things that a family can do to eliminate the bad foods that are affecting your self-esteem, your self-confidence, the serotonin in your brain? What are some of the things that we can do to eliminate? Give me 4 things that you can think of. If you can't think of 4, that's fine. What are some of the things that we can do starting today, tonight, to cut that out?
Well, it's January. I've done it for the whole of my house, including my fridge. Take everything out of your cupboards, everything, like every single bit of food out of your fridge, and put it, if you've got room, just put it, lay it out, and then you can see, and then start really looking about what's in. Do it with your kids. It's a bit of fun anyway, and have a look what's in there. What are you eating? If it doesn't go off, generally it's processed in some way. Throw it away. Okay, you might have tins of something. Okay, but if it doesn't go off, then throw it out. Give it away. But,
I have a rule.
Have a declutter.
I have a rule, and in my cupboards, the only things you'll find are sardines and peas. I have a rule. If I'm gonna buy anything and I look at the label and it has more than 6 ingredients, I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
I don't buy it. If it has more than 6 ingredients on the label, I am not buying it. So you see all them processed meats and all, I stopped eating corned beef, all of them processed things, if I don't touch them, because, and I keep saying, God, send me a husband that understands how I eat, because if he comes with his bad eating habit, I'm going to struggle. Because
I think, I totally agree with you, Avery, and that's a chat. I think for me, which has been a real challenge, it's the meal planning. It's getting organised, and maybe we should post some stuff about that. And I think it is planning. I know these books you can buy in recipe books, but actually going right, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Like I've just started to do more.
I've got an easy method that I do with my clients on that one. Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, brilliant. But like even just getting, a mason jar, just putting some porridge oats in there, blueberries, which are great, and chia seeds, and just some almond milk, and just put it in your fridge overnight. It's just so lovely in the morning just to pick that up. If you're in a rush, you can take it out. I think it is the key. Take all your stuff out your freezer and replace it with food that you've prepped, and just fill your freezer. And that's what I did
I'm gonna be naughty.
Christmas.
Let me go and show you what's in some of my prep. Keep talking.
Yeah,
Let me show you some of my prep.
Oh, I like it. See, and Ava, I know you'll like this one. I think it's accepting compliments about yourself, because people don't like accepting compliments. So they say you've got nice eyes, your skin looks good, or whatever. It's about what you got here. Oh, what have you got? Come on.
These are beetroot leaves that I use for my shakes. The leaves of beetroot wash. There it is. Thanks to Audrey Joseph. These are my diced pumpkins. So when I want some soup, I have a soup maker. And so when we come home from work and whatever, and I'm hungry, and Michael come from school in the winter, I just take this out in the morning before he goes to school, leave it on the side. It goes soft. Pop it in my soup maker, 18 minutes, soup is ready. All I add to this is some coconut milk and
So now I've not got a soup maker. So just a soup maker on its own, like just buy it. Oh wow, I'll have to buy one.
And guess what? So don't tell anybody. My son doesn't like certain vegetables, but in the soup maker, he doesn't know.
They don't notice. I'm gonna buy one.
These are my homemade chili sauce, like jerk sauce. So whenever I cook anything, they're in little tubs. See, they're individually done. So whenever I cook anything, right, I literally can just say, okay, I'm gonna take out this sauce, and we can just, it can be cold or hot, whatever, it melts out, and I dash it on my chicken, dash it on anything. It's already. And my freezer is prepped, like really prepped with so many things. I have prep thyme, and I have prep spring onion, chopped onions. I do them myself. And so I just have a lot of Ziploc bags, whack it in there. There's no processed food in my freezer, none whatsoever.
That's, and therefore you don't need to think, go and put them back. You don't need to diet then. Because I think
I don't need to diet. My weakness was bread. And I've just cut bread out of my diet. So
yeah,
there's no bread.
But your skin looks beautiful. It looks lovely.
Thank you. But I now drink 6 liters of water every day.
Wow.
Every day. Religiously. It's a havoc because I sometimes go to the toilet a lot, but I don't care because I do 6 liters of water every day. Oh my God, Audrey said I'm a soup addict. I make soup almost every day.
I'm a bit of a soup addict. I love soup.
Yes. So the things you said is prep.
Yeah, definitely. But I think the thing is, and I've learned this because Kurt, many years ago, when he get me to declutter, it just used to pile everything up on the table. I used to get so freaked out. I was like, why do you do that? He goes, just go and sort it out. Like, okay then. So I've started to do that more of this. So I've just done my whole house, every single drawer, every cupboard. I've got one bag left to sort. That's it.
And do then you throw away?
Yeah, I either give it away or give it to charity, do that. But the key is to empty it. You can't do cupboard by cupboard. You empty it. If you're doing your clothes, put it all out. So like, last job in the kitchen is to get everything out of the cupboards, everything out of the fridge, just pile it all out. And then you can see what you've got because you can't see it, it hides.
I have a rule and I need to get better at it with my clothes, but I used to do it every 6 months. I used to say, if I have not used it in the cupboard for 6 months, it's not needed. And if I don't wear it, it's not needed. And I would just go and just declutter and throw away. And Audrey would say to me, hey, but there's nothing left in your house to declutter. I just declutter and throw it away because it affects your mind. It affects your psychic.
Yeah. And right? I've just spent, and I think, you know what, even though it's not related to food, I think once you start to clear that out, something happens psychologically that you start to think you need to clear your body out.
Yeah.
Of your mind of rubbish and your body of whatever, and do it.
How easy, we say that, right? They say it takes 21 something to change a habit. How easy, because I see this with parents a lot. A friend of mine is on a school governing board, and there are children who have always been expelled, and it's the same children. So this particular school run an experiment and realized that these kids had low self-esteem, low confidence, and then they start looking at diet, and they realize that, oh my God, these children really are just being fed the wrong food. And as a result of that, like Mark said, it really triggers their behavior and their behavior patterns. Do you not think it's an education to the parents? Do you think the government has a responsibility? It's an education to the parents, because kids are not cooking for themselves most of the times. And I'm not against Iceland, but I really think, I have not been in Iceland in years, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of I feel sorry for parents because the children are addicted to the sugar, and it's hard. And I think, like you've just said, Ava, what you've done, you know, like with your children, is somehow you've got to disguise the fruit and vegetables, because the fruit and vegetables are that powerful, a mixture. So you've got lentils and, you know, your beans and stuff like that, and make it tasty is to slowly add them in, because they naturally start to change your palate and your taste.
I love
do
cheese. I love cheese, and what I've done lately, I switched my salt to Himalaya salt, and I don't eat so much cheese anymore. And I find that Himalaya salt works, and I love quinoa. So I use quinoa. Do you know quinoa? Yeah, you know quinoa.
Yeah.
I use quinoa to make porridge, literally make porridge like oatmeal. I use it as a substitute, as a rice. I use it to dash into salads, and I use it around as much as I can. My son doesn't really like certain things that I cook, but it's finding a way that make them taste tasty to him, and they taste good.
And, you know, and I think it's doing daft things like making, there's lots of stuff, isn't there? Pinterest, Instagram, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe Pinterest is easier. Put in, like, trying to create some, you know, when you put in things on a plate, you know, make a smiley face out of it. You know, there's so many creative things you could do which wouldn't take long, instead of just throwing the food on the plate. But then I used to, like with Cassian, is try and have a game with him, you know, and do that. Like we used to, so I used to have this, we've always had shakes for breakfast, and then we put, like, my son was, I'm not having cheeses, I'm not having, so I just used to sneak a bit in, and then slowly, you know, you start to change habit. But I used to have like a bit of a game with him. I'll say, right, come on, we'll drink this, make a smoothie. You can buy a blender from Asda or wherever, they're not expensive. And like you said, hide some of the fruit in it, and maybe put some honey in and things like that, but have a game with them. And you know, it's probably harder as they've got older. It's just having a bit of fun with it, isn't it?
It does. I have a NutriBullet, and I think it's an amazing piece of equipment.
Yeah.
Because I use it for my soups, I use it for everything. I use it to blend my, like, certain seeds and get them, like, you know, like milled, right?
Yeah.
But Mikhail now will take a banana and peanut butter and make a shake. Okay, for me that's healthy enough for me, because peanut, and I buy the raw peanut butter. So
you can still make it nice.
And he makes that on his own, and I'm quite happy with that. Versus him, and because there's no bread, he has no choice, or he goes for an apple and peanut butter. And so I have seen the change in Mikhail since I've changed how I eat. I can see the difference. So in my house, there's no sodas. We don't have any fizzy drink. There's no sodas in my house. There's rarely any juice in my house unless people are coming to my house. So in my house, I always keep, like lately, an apple juice, a cloudy apple, but you won't find drink. You won't find juice, and you won't find fizzy, right? You don't find a television in my house either. So you all know I ain't got a television for 5-6 years now. It's not, I don't have a television that goes off in my house. And there's certain things we don't do. We drink a lot of water, right? We eat things that are barely packaged.
Yeah. What about it? You see, we've always had a rule. So, well, certainly, you know, unless it goes, you know, been divorced, so you know, Cass goes to his dad, I can't control what goes there. But here we always sit down for dinner. Yes. Always sit at the table for breakfast. Okay, we might be having a shake.
I don't always sit down for breakfast, because sometimes that's hard. But
no, but you know, but we have, like, I've got some they're called I am cards, and we have a bit of a game. So we get the cards out, and they're amazing. You know, you don't need to buy, you can make your own and just have some I am I'm a leader, or I am organised, or I am kind, or whatever it would be. We have these pack of cards, we get them out, we'll go, right, pick your cards. And sometimes I'll forget to pick them up, and then I'll take Cass off to the train station. Neil, my mum, I've got the cards, We get them to read that out. And I think a little bit of personal development in the morning as well, even if it's ever so slightly, just that positive way to start your day. I don't know whether it goes in. I would hope it does, but I think it's like that. Just do a shake, do the cards, whatever.
I do. Like, Mikhail's lately not wanting to do breakfast. And so I've had to do the whole education around why it's important. And I find that he want to grab just an apple for breakfast and go. Okay, an apple is okay. I'd rather him have some oatmeal or something. But I realize, let's talk about something that's really important. I realize that talking about eating at the table, a number of families are not eating at the table anymore because everybody's on their mobile phone, everybody's on TV. And what is happening, Linda, is that at the table is where a lot of personal confidence is instilled in how you use your knife and fork, ask about how your day was.
Yeah.
I hear from my son a lot about what happens at school, at dinner table, what are his challenges at the dinner table. That's where I hear them. At breakfast, I hear when we do have breakfast together sometimes, because our times are different. I work from home, he goes to school, I'm sitting in my pajamas sometimes. I'm not a morning person, I'm not in the mood, so I drop him at school. But at the dinner table, I hear what are his discomfort and what is bothering him and what is not so good at school. And I think, and there we can do the positive affirmation and the conversation and how to work it out around the table.
Yeah, no, and I think one of the powerful words that I've used, and I've only just talk about forgiveness. It's really interesting coming on this whole thing, because when I was going to come on last week, my mum passed away last year, and I'll bring this in because it's important for the forgiveness side and how it impacts on your own family. So my mum's passed away, she's got a house, and my brother doesn't want to move out of the house. Long story, and he has been horrendous. And on Friday, I'm thinking, I can't even believe you can speak to a human being like the way you speak. And deep down in your heart, and I think it's rather than trying to be I
think we've lost Linda for a second there, and I hope her Wi-Fi comes back.
And it was about how, and Audrey, you said it, and you did, Ava, and I think I put this in the chat at the time. You say, oh, I forgive, but I can't forget. And when I heard that last week, and you were saying, well, you've not forgiven then, I was like, wow, that is so powerful, because I was only saying that the other week about my brother, saying I can forgive, but I won't forget. I can't believe he said that. And then on Friday, I thought, no, I really need to turn it around. We're going to get a positive outcome. And then he phoned up today. He didn't apologise.
That's okay.
And the husband said, I can't believe that you just let that go. And I went, because we want a positive outcome, and it will. And I was saying to my son, so I said to him, although you fall out and you do things, it's trying to reframe it. And, like when my mum's funeral was, the actual funeral procession, it was all late, and my mum's coffin turned up really, really late. They were nearly an hour, and it was a really stressful time. My brother said, I'll carry that forever. And I went, well, why don't you reframe it and just think that mum didn't want to leave this world, and that is just the way it is. Do you know? And like, so these calls are just, it was just brilliant. I thought, I've never thought about it like that, because sometimes you don't truly forgive.
Yeah. I mean, Linda, you there?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Can you see me?
I can hear you now. Sorry about your mom passing away, but I also understand.
Oh no, that's fine. Don't worry.
But I think you did the right thing with your brother there. I think it's so important.
It's not easy to do it.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Sometimes you just have to think, well, I felt better for doing it, and not thinking, well, I won't forget. But I did today. I thought, no, I forgive you. It's not your fault you're like that. That's just whatever it is. I don't know. Well, but you feel better.
Yeah, I'm gonna segue a little bit here, and not. I'm gonna be extremely sensitive in this. I don't know the facts, but when I think about Kobe Bryant's death, which
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
it's so sorry. It's just such a painful for everybody across the world. I mean, from lots of people across the world, whether you knew him or not, just the way he died is so tragic and so painful. And his 14-year-old daughter was with them. But as I scrolled through the information today, I was looking at just his family. And I saw a lot of articles that said he did not have a good relationship with his mom and dad and his family. And as I read through the information, I was really hurt. And I remember saying to myself, I really hope that they had made amends, because you know it's I don't want to touch it too hard because it's so raw and so new, but that came up in the papers a lot. You know, the press, if they drag it,
yeah,
he had a bad relationship with his mom and dad because they tried to sell his memorabilia, and then he didn't talk to his sisters. And I was like, I really hope that even if they did not communicate, if it's true, that there was some amends, because life is so short. We have to eat right, eat properly, to live longer and to be more confident and more better with our self-confidence and self-esteem. But also we have to forgive, because boy, you never know. Every time you leave your house, you are so not sure if you are going to come back and see your kids and your family and your husband. And I remember, you know, just thinking about his death today and just think, oh my God, like if only he knew, you know, that this was going to happen. And we never know. And so I had a client who told me last week that I said, how was Christmas? And she said, it was awful. I said, what happened? And she said, my husband's sister not talking to this and that. And it was miserable. And I thought there are lots of people in this group right now, who are struggling with forgiveness issues, have unforgiveness issues. And I really want to say and take this time to appeal to you to let it go, that it's not worth it, that we don't know when we're going to die. And it's rather to die in peace and harmony rather than to die tragically, if that's the case. And we had that up here, but we leave the people behind with that kind of pain and anguish. And I don't know how better to say that. What are your words on that, Linda?
Well, I was thinking on Friday, my brother, I left him and hang on, where have you gone?
That's okay, right here.
Oh, hang on, you've disappeared.
I'm here.
There you are. I don't know what happened then.
It's okay.
He left me on Friday. I can't tell you what he called me, and I'm only trying to help him, trying to come to a decision about my mum's house. He's got a big attachment to it. It's really heavy in his heart. And he said, when all this is finished, I'll be glad because I never have to speak to you again. I was like, or see you again. I was like, okay. I said, well, that's really sad for you to say that. But, and over the weekend, and that's when it was brilliant what you did last week, because I thought, no, why, you know, you try to think, why would they be like that? Because I'm not like that. So when people are different, and every morning I wake up, I'm always, as soon as my eyes open, what am I grateful for? It doesn't really matter what it is. It could be when I let the dogs out and it's, you know, you've woken up and it's another morning, and when I go to bed at night. And I always ask myself, how can this become a peaceful outcome? How can I just forgive and not just say forgive and, you know, you won't forget? And really, truly, and I felt different today. I really felt different today. And then he phoned me tonight as if nothing had happened.
But you told the universe what you wanted, right?
I did. And you know what, Ava? I could have easily had, it's like, I suppose it's like winning a competition of some sort, or winning a game of something. And then trying to so if they ring, you know, like he did tonight, it'd be so easy for me to say, but however, you shouldn't have done whatever, because that's me trying to win that battle again. And I just have to.
You don't have to win.
I think you win that. You don't need, and I think that's it. I've spent a lot of years doing that, trying to win the battle, trying to have the last say. Well, I'm only trying to make the point, but you're trying to win. And it's not nice.
And Linda,
it's not nice.
I thank you for the transparency on all of this, guys. For those of us who are on the replay, we're really just talking life, nutrition, health, forgiveness, self-confidence, reality, living the now. And I just want to thank Linda for being here. When the show is finished, Linda, please drop your details of what you do under the show script, so people can see you, because you actually have opportunities.
I will do.
In the group, and I don't want you to go when we're finished here. Guys, I just really want to say to you that Audrey and I are so grateful that you have chosen to come on the replay, to join the group. Please invite some friends over. We have tomorrow night, we have Stephanie from Germany, my client as well, coming to talk about what she does. Her story is so powerful. I want to go into it. She's a triplet. She got burnt, and it's a lot.
Oh wow!
And then we have Dr. Michelle, a psychologist who's also my client, coming in here on Wednesday, talking about parents' conversation and how you talk to your children and how that can impact the people they become. Like, that's going to be a big one. How you talk to your children and how that can impact who they become, but how your parents spoke to you, how has that impacted your parenting? And so we have that on Wednesday night. And so it's going to be an amazing, amazing number of speakers for the next couple of days. I know Audrey has got some speakers as well. We'll have them all lined up around forgiveness. And as the days go on, what we're trying to do ultimately is we really have put a poll in the group, Linda. We're asking people, what are you most struggling with? And so we're going to be literally looking to work with those people privately on the things that are affecting and impacting them. So thank you, Linda, for being here. I'm sure we'll talk before our birthday. Thanks for those who've been watching on the replay. Thank you so much. #replay viewers. Invite somebody to the group.
Oh, yeah, will do.
Conversation going. Thank you so much, Linda.
Lovely. Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining. Take care. Bye.